the Ohio State Buckeyes came up short last year, but team that's going to be very, very exciting to watch in 2021. They do have to replace Justin Fields, so there's questions at quarterback. Is CJ Stroud the guy? Is Quinn Ewers, who just announced that he would be enrolling at Ohio State instead of playing his senior year of high school, is it going to be one of the other guys? You don't really know who it's going to be. Everybody has an opinion, but it's going to be exciting to see what happens at that position, and the fact that they have a ton of talent everywhere else. This is definitely a team that's the favorite to win the Big Ten, and a team that is likely to return to the college football playoff. If they can answer some questions in the meantime, that'll help their case. But we're going to look at 10 guys today that are going to make you believe, if you don't already, that this is still a college football playoff contender. At number 10, we have two running backs, Master Teague and Travion Henderson. Henderson's an incoming freshman who many believe is going to win the job. Teague is going to be a nice changeup, it sounds like, a guy who can be the bowling ball, a wrecking ball, and Henderson seems like he's the next great Ohio State running back. So either way, both are going to be fun to watch, and the fact that they have two makes life really, really easy for Ryan Day. Number 9, Sevyn Banks at cornerback, 6 passes defended last year. Many people are thinking that this is the weakness of the defense, but some also pick Sevyn Banks as one of the best cornerbacks in the entire country. So I don't know, kind of like find a middle ground maybe. There's definitely talent on the roster, definitely talent on the backside of the defense, and Sevyn Banks will obviously be one of those guys, but I think that there's still some questions on that part of the defense. Number 8, offensive tackle Nicholas Petit-Frere. With another tackle and Thayer Munford getting most of the attention, other guys like he and Harry Miller gives them some versatility. He played some center, played some guard. He's going to be used all over the place. So that's something that is a luxury that not a lot of teams have. You get instant depth when a guy can play multiple positions, and Harry Miller gives them that. And they go against some of the best defensive linemen in the country, so that makes them better as well. Number 6, to me, Zach Harrison, I think, is just ready to have a breakout year. Second team All Big Ten, 4.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks last year. I just really think that he's ready for a breakout year. We've been kind of waiting for that. It hasn't really happened. COVID obviously ruined things for many people last year, but I think Zach Harrison is set to have a big year in 2021. Number 5, tight end Jeremy Ruckert. The Ohio State Buckeyes don't really use tight ends that much. In terms of the passing game, I should say. So if they're able to get him the ball a little bit more, he's shown that he can make some incredible catches. If you haven't seen his one-handed catches yet, make sure you go check those out. A guy who can honestly make a lot of plays as a pass catcher, and I just really hope that they're able to utilize him a little bit more. It might be tough with 2 guys we'll talk about here in a little bit, but this is still a good weapon to have on your roster. At number 4, Thayer Munford, first team All Big Ten. You don't really talk about him much, which a lineman you probably shouldn't be talking about that much, because that means that if you are, then you're probably struggling to move the ball. But Thayer Munford, he shows up. He's kind of a lunch pail guy. Shows up, gets the job done, doesn't ask for anything in return, just does his job, moves on to the next one. Number 3, Haskell Garrett. The defensive tackle was second team AP All-American, third team Big Ten. I don't know how that works out, but whatever, it is what it is. Just a monster on the inside, and he's going to make the offensive line better. The offensive line is going to make him better, and he returns for another year, and it feels like he maybe should have gone pro, but you know what? He made a decision that's best for him, and it's going to be fun to watch him in an Ohio State uniform again this year. Number 2, this may be where the controversy starts, Chris Olave. First team All Big Ten last year, 729 yards and 7 touchdowns. I just think that, number 1, Garrett Wilson. I just like Garrett Wilson a little bit better. I know a lot of people are picking Chris Olave as the best wide receiver in the country. I just like Garrett Wilson better. I think he's more exciting to watch, and maybe that means that I'm just being biased and not actually watching the details of it, but I just like Garrett Wilson better. I think he's more exciting. I think he could actually be a better wide receiver. But Chris Olave's story is pretty cool. The fact that the Ohio State coaching staff didn't really recruit him. They kind of stumbled upon him when they were recruiting his teammate, and now he ends up at Ohio State. I think that's just a cool story, especially at Ohio State. You just think that everybody is a 4 or 5 star. That just didn't have to do a ton to maybe get there. Everybody has their story, obviously, but I think Olave has one of the coolest stories on this roster. But I just think that Garrett Wilson is more talented. That's just my opinion. I'm not going to argue if you think that Chris Olave is. But this is a team, like I said, super talented. Ryan Day has the luxury of having this kind of talent still. He's been recruiting at a high level, and Ohio State definitely has what it takes to get back to the national championship and the college football playoff. It's going to come down to the secondary is a big question. They lose a bunch of their linebackers, so that's another big question. Quarterback play is huge, obviously. Who wins that job? And you kind of need to have one, because there's a lot of people who think if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. And with the fact that there's going to be a lot of young guys competing for the starting job, very inexperienced group, that could cause some issues of early on in the season. But as you can see, this 10 is a very talented. You can make an argument they're top 5 in terms of the 10 guys they have there. There are so many guys that are tops at their position. So it's not really a concern for Ohio State if they're going to get back. It's just a matter of when. So again, super talented team. Ryan Day is doing a great job, and it's going to be fun to watch Ohio State get back to the college football playoff, find a new quarterback, and get back to normal, maybe even avenge their loss from last year as well.